What is going on, guys? I literally just walked out of the theaters here. I just saw the Batman in IMAX, and listen, it was a 3-hour long movie. I was tense basically the entire time. I'm gonna walk back to the car, process my thoughts, and I'm gonna give you a fresh, out of the theater review / reaction. It's gonna be spoiler free, at least for the first little while. So let me walk back, and then we're gonna think about this. All right, we have officially made it back to the car. Had about a 5-minute walk back to kind of gather my thoughts, and honestly, I still don't really know what I want to say. Here's what I do know about the Batman. I think it's a really good movie. I thought that I would like it going in, and I did. I really liked it. I don't know if the general audience is going to be super receptive to it. I've always maintained, when we saw the way this is marketed, I think 75 to 80% of people are going to love this movie. I think you're going to have 20 to 25 that really dislike it for a variety of reasons. It is not super consumable. I'll say that off the bat. It is not a 2-hour package, laugh, bright colors Marvel movie. It's really just not that. You've seen so many of the reviews say, oh, it's dark, it's grounded, oh, it has Seven vibes, Zodiac vibes. Obviously, all of that's true. You can tell that from the trailers. Matt Reeves himself told us that's the feel he was going for. The first hour of the movie is just really fucking tense. I feel like you're tense through the entire thing. The way it was shot and the score, really good. Cinematography on this is top notch. Some great shots to make sure that in that first hour of the movie, you are intimidated as hell by Robert Pattinson's Batman. And I could listen to the Batman theme over and over and over again in my head. It did have a 3-hour runtime. It didn't really seem like that. I didn't really want to leave. I wasn't bored at all. My eyes were kind of glued to the screen the entire time. That's always a good indication that I'm very riveted and intrigued in the movie, and I definitely was in this. It keeps you guessing. There are several times where you think you have it figured out and you don't, which is also a good thing. Not necessarily subverting expectations type of thing, but this is a mystery. This is a detective movie with a detective Batman. That's what was promised. That's what they delivered on. And in that, I think it was really good. There were a couple things that bothered me, and I'll get into that a little bit later. But overall, Robert Pattinson as Batman, I think he nailed it. I think he did exactly what Matt Reeves was asking him to do. Again, the way they shot it, some of the scenes, he's vicious, he's intimidating, he's brutal, and he definitely is Batman. He doesn't want to be Bruce Wayne. You could tell that's the feel they were going for. They delivered on that. I am looking forward to see Robert Pattinson playing the Batman again. The other big actors in this, Zoe Kravitz as Catwoman, I didn't know how I'd think about her. I really didn't. I'm not a huge... I don't like race swapping at all for any reason whatsoever. It's kind of inexcusable. However, Zoe Kravitz I think she did a great job kind of embodying that character, even walking like a cat. She was very feline in her approach to it. I like the way she fit into this movie. She did not upstage Batman at all. If anybody was worried about that, didn't happen. She does save him one time. He saves her probably 4 or 5 times. And Batman is the one who is telling her that she is kind of lost the way she's lost her moral compass, not the other way around. So I think that was very, very good. Jeffrey Wright didn't blow me away. I think it was fine as Commissioner Gordon. Again, don't fucking race swap characters. But I didn't see anything special about him. He's a great actor, but it wasn't like he was crazy good to me in this. Colin Farrell's Penguin was unrecognizable. He did a great job, but the makeup and effects team did a great job making him not look like Colin Farrell in any way, shape, or form. Andy Serkis' Alfred, we needed more of it. We needed more of it. There's something that happens about halfway through the movie that's very powerful and impactful with Alfred, and I feel like we needed more of him in the first half of this movie. One of my complaints. A couple other complaints that I have, and they have to do a little bit with identity politics. And there was one line that was in this movie that really threw me out of it. It is when Catwoman basically is saying they only care about themselves, these white privileged people. You didn't need to use the word white. You could have just said privilege, and that would have basically done the job. But they said white privileged people. It was very distinct, very much stood out. It bothered me, and it took me out of it. It's not something that needed to be done, but they threw it in there. I think it was way too on the nose. Didn't like it. Another thing, and this is a little bit of a spoiler, I guess. So warning for spoilers. It's not a major one, but there were only a couple good people in this movie. You had Bruce Wayne, Batman, and you had Alfred. Those are the only two good white people. The rest of the three other major players that I would consider like overall like moral good people were, you had Jim Gordon, who's black in this. You had Catwoman, who's not white in this. And then you had the mayor, who's a black woman. Again, very much on the nose for current day Hollywood. Did not like that. Took a little bit off the score for me, to be honest. Overall, my experience with it is an 8 out of 10. I think this is an 8 out of 10 movie. I think it's a really fucking good movie. I don't know how much, if you're coming in there looking for a Batman movie and you think that this should be like what we've seen over the past decade with superhero movies, you might walk out a little bit disappointed. I think it was really good. Again, there's some twists and turns in this thing, and it sets up this franchise in this trilogy, which is what I think it'll be, to go on for a while. They took a lot, I think, from different comic book runs. Long Halloween, definitely an inspiration. I think they even handed out a Long Halloween special comic book at the showing that I went to. It was like a special fan preview at Regal Cinemas. Got to see it on IMAX. The score is awesome. I can't overstate that. I love the music. Well, maybe not so much some of the music, but the score, when it's an actual score, I love it. I could listen to the Batman theme all day. So overall, I think that it's good. There were a couple cameos, and I'm gonna go ahead and spoil this right now. So if you don't want to be warned, or if you don't want to be spoiled, here's your warning. At the end, they have the Riddler talking to someone who's going to be the Joker in Arkham. So that's coming. Also, there was a cameo that, if you're a Batman fan, you're going to know, Thomas Elliott, Hush. Very clearly, it was thrown in there. That's going to be something that could potentially happen down the road for this. So they got a lot of potential. Overall, I think it was a really good movie. I liked it. I'll probably do a more spoilery discussion, long form. I'm not good at these. I just sit in my car and fucking talk. So I don't know. What do you guys think? Let me know if you're interested in seeing this movie. From what I'm describing, does it sound like you're going to like it? Let me know. I guess one thing I didn't really talk about was the action. I thought the action sequences were good. He's a little too bulletproof. We saw that from the trailers a little bit. But for the most part, really dug all of the action sequences. But most of all, the detective stuff was spot on. The way that they do keep you on the edge of your seat and guessing and tense through the whole thing, I think is really great. Let me know what your thoughts about this are in the comments below. Smash a like button, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell for notifications, share this video out there, and I'll talk to you later. Thanks for watching, everyone. And a huge shout out to my patrons. I appreciate you guys so much. Want to follow me on Twitter or Instagram? Check out the description below. You'll find links to my P.O. box and my Patreon as well. And I'll talk to you guys later.